everybody. Welcome to WLG Sports Talk. This is a weekly episode of our podcast starting off the first of May in the right direction. How are you doing today, Gage?
Oh, doing great. Can't wait. Cannot wait for Sunday Night Baseball. I am so excited.
Dude, it's a big matchup.
Oh my God. It's got playoff potential.
Yeah, it has playoff implications riding on it. The two teams going at it. In the division that they're in, they have to – every game counts against your division.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So if you haven't heard, we have the New York Mets versus the Philadelphia Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball tonight starting at 7 o'clock. But before we get into that, we can talk about our power rankings of the top 5 teams in baseball right now.
Yep. Who's going first?
You can go first.
All right. The top 5 teams in baseball right now. Number 1 is the Dodgers. And it's going to be the Dodgers for the whole rest of the season because it's just not even – it's kind of hard to comprehend how good their team is. So, Freddie Freeman, freaking Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, Will Smith. It's just insane. So they're the best. Kershaw, by the way, strikeouts leader in Dodgers history last night. That was pretty awesome. So that's my number 1. Number 2, I'm going with the Jays. They're super talented, and they're the best in the AL East. And I just think Bo Bichette, he's had a rough start, but he's coming around. He actually hit a 2-run home run today. So they're my second. Number 3, going with the Giants. They're old, and they always seem to find a way. They must have really good staff that really, like, good hitting coaches, good pitching coaches. Like, they just do everything right, and they're always they're gonna have a 100-win season again. So they're 3. 4, I'm gonna have to go with the Mets because the Mets are looking really good. They have stellar pitching, and they don't even have DeGrom yet. So when DeGrom gets back, it's going to be even crazier. And Taijuan Walker looked pretty good last night. They did lose, but he did pretty good. So that's 4. And then number 5, I'm going with the Angels. They look really good, and they're actually leading their division. And it's crazy because, like, it's about time they start getting good. And they have Trout, Shohei, Rendon, and Brandon Marsh has actually been pretty good too. And they have good pitching, Noah Syndergaard and Patrick Sandoval, and those guys, they're doing really good. So that's my top 5.
Okay. My top 5's probably more along the lines of the traditional, what's going on now. I don't think this will be the top 5 at the end of the year just because some of the teams that are in here, I think, are off to a hot start, but you still have to show respect to them. Number 1, like you, the Dodgers, when you look at their lineup, you glossed over all of them. You didn't really touch on the pitching a whole lot. I mean, you got Kimbrel, an ERA in the 1s right now. Kershaw's having a great year. Walker Buehler, Gonsolin's even looking good too.
Mm-hmm.
Heaney hasn't been bad. I think they're the best team in baseball.
Even Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, and I mean, look at their bench. I mean, you have like Gavin Lux on your bench. You have like Chris Taylor, who's can play anywhere. Justin Turner started off slow, but I mean, he's like your 7th hitter in that lineup. Cody Bellinger's picked it up. That was a big. I mean, it all depends upon how they're pitching. I mean, I forgot Urias. I mean, he's out of this world too. My second team, and this is one of the teams I don't think are going to stay here for a while, but I think it's the Yankees. The Yankees are in their last 10, they're 9-1. Their pitching has stepped up. I mean, Severino, Nestor Cortez. I think he's going to fall off. He's pitching out of his mind. He's not going to keep that up for the entire year. But Garrett Cole finally looks to be back on track. Yep. And their bats are hitting right now. I mean, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's hitting pretty well right now, but I mean, he's an average hitter, so that's going to fall off. And they're just going to go through stretches where they're a home run or bust team. And right now they're going through a stretch where they're hitting home runs, which is what you expect. But I think they're going to fall off.
The Judge looks good.
He does look good. But, I mean, and he's a guy who can – he hits 280, 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. So, I mean –
yeah, and he won't be in the Yankees next year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean – but you look at other guys in that lineup like Donaldson, he's struggling. I mean, Rizzo's on fire right now, but is he going to be able to keep that up? I don't think so, personally.
I do.
Like I said, Connor Falefa, he's an average hitter. He's not like an above average hitter. Stanton's going to be, Stanton. He's going to strike out 200 times a year, but he's going to hit 260 and hit 45 home runs.
Yep. He's good.
Number 3, I have to go with the Blue Jays. I think they're the most rounded team in the AL. I mean, look at that lineup. You have Vladdy. Yeah, I mean, Manoah. You have all those guys. I mean, Gosman's going to start to pick it up a little bit. Like it's
Gosman's insane. Yeah, he's so good. Today he had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hard to get strikeouts. Double-digit strikeouts in today's league is kind of tough.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, I mean, especially not going deep into games.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rays. I mean, 4th, I got to go with the Mets. They're the only team this year who hasn't lost a series.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's not sustainable. But I mean, the Mets, their pitching is what is keeping them in games.
With DeGrom back, it might be possible they never lose a series this year.
I don't think so, personally. But I mean, I look at their lineup, and it's weird because they don't score a tremendous amount of runs. So it's like, wow, like their offense is unbelievable. But their pitching keeps them in games where they only need to score 2 to 3 runs or 4 runs. Oh, don't get me wrong, that lineup can go off. But I mean, Marte, Canna has been hitting, but he has no home runs this year. I mean, Alonso, you know what you're going to get with him. He's just going to mash and hit 250. Marte, he's going to have to start to pick it up. Lindor's bounced back.
He's good.
I mean, look at their rotation. I mean, Scherzer, McGill, Taijuan Walker, Bassett. I mean, they're pitching really well right now. Carrasco got lit up, I think, 1 game against the Cardinals.
Yep, that's
and ever since then, outside of that, he's looked pretty good. But I think they're 4th, and then 5th, I have to go with the Giants. I mean, they're leading their division, so I mean, and they're repeating what they did last year. I wasn't sure how the pitching was going to hold up without Buster Posey behind the plate because he's one of the best callers of his generation back there, but I mean, they're doing pretty well. Rodon's look pretty unbelievable this year.
He looks great.
Their lineup's very underrated. But, I mean, yeah. The Padres are another team you could throw in there. And then Milwaukee looks good, too, just because of their pitching. But
I'll tell you what. A sleeper team, the Twins, they're really looking good, actually. And that shocks me.
Everybody was afraid of their pitching, but I mean, I've been a firm believer in Joe Ryan. I think Joe Ryan's going to be an animal.
He looks good, and Correa's finally starting to do good. And Byron Buxton, that man is like really, really good. He is a top MLB talent, like hitter. He just can't stay healthy. He's hurt again.
Yeah, I think the last time we did this, we talked about like the Athletics and the Pirates as being the worst teams in baseball. And we said it wasn't even close. Well, I think the Athletics were one we were kind of wrong about.
Yeah, they're decent.
I mean, yeah, they're pretty decent. Yeah, the Pirates haven't been as bad as I would have thought. Yeah, and I just think I'm going to say
bad teams.
The Reds are going to be the worst team in all of baseball this year.
Yeah, they are a miserable team. They have nothing good. Nothing.
They got nothing. Hunter Green's struggled. Lodolo's struggled. I mean, they've struggled. I mean,
they don't have any bats that strike fear into an opposing pitcher. They don't have any bats that are going to get you runs. They just don't have that. Like, the best guy, Votto, is just not even like, man, he's just fallen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think the best guy in their lineup's India.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, rookie of the year.
But I mean, I haven't even really been paying attention because they're just irrelevant. I mean,
yeah, they're bad.
And I don't know how good India's doing, but
he's doing not great. Not great. Yeah,
obviously
they're really bad.
won 3 games.
Luckily, they're in my division, in the Cardinals division. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah,
I think we can agree that's a 2-team race.
Oh, that division's 2-team race. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cardinals will win it. So
no, I think at the end of the day, it's gonna be the Brew Crew. That pitching's just too good. They're hitting.
Michaelis though.
Really well.
Michaelis looks good.
He does look good. Burns and look better.
Dakota Hudson's looking good, and Flaherty's coming back. I can't wait. But
Mats wasn't bad, or Mats hasn't been bad outside his first start.
Yeah. All right. So tonight, Sunday Night Baseball. You're a Phillies fan. What do you think? Are they going to do good tonight, or are they going to get destroyed by Mad Max?
Bold prediction for tonight. The Mets lose tonight and lose their very first series of the year.
Whoa. That is bold.
I mean, you have Max Scherzer coming in this year. He has a 1.80 ERA. His last 2 starts, he's only allowed 1 hit through 7 innings apiece in each one. Yeah. He's looked really
unhittable.
Good. He's been unhittable. I mean, you have to go back 2 starts to the last start where he allowed a run. And it was against Philly. He went 5 innings. He walked 3, which is uncharacteristic for him. He struck out 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Phillies lineup can get to him. But I think on the other side, pitching for the Phillies, you have to kind of look at they got Eflin on the mound today. And
that's tough.
What Eflin are you going to get? I mean, he hasn't pitched bad this year. He has a 3.2 ERA. But I mean, can he get deep into the games? I mean, if he can keep the ball down and limit the hits, he's going to be fine. But I mean, he doesn't walk anybody. I mean, he has a current record. In his last 40 starts, he hasn't walked more than 2 batters per game, which he doesn't walk people. That's pretty impressive. Good. But I mean, it's all about, can he keep the ball down? And if he can do that, he can limit the hits and the runs. But he's going to have to, because Scherzer, you know what you're going to get out of Scherzer. So you have to keep your team in the game. I mean, if it comes down to it, I think Scherzer allows a run. He's out in the 6th. Eflin's probably out in the 6th. Then it comes down to the bullpens. And at that point, I'm trusting the Phillies bullpen just because they've looked pretty good this year. The Mets bullpen has imploded against them different times this season. So, yeah, I think the Phillies win a close game today, 3-1.
Whoa, that's bold. I'll tell you what I think here. I think Eflin on the mound, just that is tough. I don't think Eflin can hang tonight. In the spotlight, I don't trust him because I just don't think he can stop that potent Mets offense. I just don't like. I feel bad for the Phillies. They're going to get destroyed.
You think
Max,
so?
Yeah, I really do, because Schwarber, I don't think he'll have a hit tonight. I think Castellanos might. It's basically, in my opinion, it's up to Castellanos and Harper tonight. Everyone else is going to struggle, I think, because they're used to playing Max from when he was on the Nationals, they all know how to play him. But he's been in the NL East a long time. But
yeah,
he's just better now, it seems like, than he ever has been. He's just insane. Ever since he went to the Dodgers, he's just been lights out. I mean, he's always been, but so I think the Mets win tonight 5-1. And Yeah, I don't know. It's at the Mets too, and they're itching. They want this. They want this series win against Philly. So I'm taking the Mets.
I hear everything you're saying, and it's the safe bet to take them.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Eflin's never pitched on a primetime game on national television.
I don't trust him.
You don't trust him?
No, not on. There's no way he won't be able to handle that's Sunday Night Baseball, man.
I mean, if it was, I would feel more comfortable if it was Nola, Wheeler, even Ranger.
I wish
even Kyle Gibson. I wish it would have been Kyle Gibson, because Kyle Gibson. What Kyle Gibson does is what Zach Eflin needs to do today: keep the ball down and keep it on the ground. But that's what he's capable of doing. But I don't know. I guess you'll see the kind of pitcher he is tonight. It's in a contract year, so he has a lot to prove.
I just think, like, this is the worst. Like, Eflin's their worst starter. So Eflin's going for the Phillies, and then the Mets' best starters going. So it's just a bad mix. I don't think there's any way the Phillies win. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough because it's the worst versus the best. It's sad. It really is. I really wish it was the top of each lineup. Or the top of each rotation. It would have been way, way better of a game.
Yeah, it was missed. Well, due to Wheeler and Rangers late starts, you missed it by a day for Ranger.
It sucks.
And Wheeler would have, realistically, if Wheeler would have been ready to go on time, it would have been Gibson and Scherzer, which would have been better because Gibson's a good number 3.
Yeah, Gibson's good. He did good last night.
He did. The one thing with that run that scored when Nimmo scored, it was an error. I mean, that was his 7th error in a decade. So I mean, it shouldn't have happened, but I mean,
it happens.
It happened. It was an unearned run, so it didn't hurt him. But
well, we'll see what happens. So good episode, and I want to hear thoughts. So give us your thoughts. Can't wait to hear them. We've gotten some feedback, and it's been So give us your feedback. Can't wait to hear it. Good day.
Yes, give us your feedback in the comments. And leave a like if you enjoyed the content, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more.
Yep.
We can probably try to do this every weekend. We can highlight the Sunday night game and talk about what's going on throughout baseball, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Have a good one.